We're also going to be speaking to a gospel Mark Silinda, who was born in 1982 to a pastor and renowned guitarist, and is no wonder that he's now also ministers in song. Silinda is a recording artist, songwriter, and music producer. He has two gospel albums, Thy Kingdom Come, as well as Aguvumanga, and an Afro-pop album titled Finding Love under his belt. Silinda has shared the stage with celebrated acts such as Benjamin Dube and Ntokozo Mbambo and the late Sifiso Ncwane, and many other big names in the gospel arena. He's currently a member of Africa's most recognized gospel group, Joyous Celebration, joining them in touring Africa and the world. He joins us now in studio.
How are you?
A very good morning. I mean, that was a long bio, and an impressive one at that.
I don't think so, eh?
Let's begin with you explaining us this name, Ya Gospel. It's in your ID, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
And I read in that intro that you were born to a pastor and a renowned guitarist.
Yes.
I can kind of imagine where your first name comes from, but tell us more. Tell us more about who Gospel is.
Yeah, Gospel Silinda is just a village boy from Mpumalanga, Mkhuhlu, Bushbuckridge. And yes, my father is a pastor and his father is a pastor. So I'm a pastor's kid of a pastor's kid. So yeah, basically, I think, yeah, that's basically, yeah.
And tell us a bit about your musical journey.
Well, I started very early, Sunday school, obviously, because my dad is a pastor, family choir, and high school as well. I was part of the boys' choir, choral group. And when I went to varsity, I met friends who introduced me to SEO, Student Christian Organization. That's where I was introduced to the contemporary sound. Because where I come from, we're doing like those traditional native sounds and stuff like that. And in varsity, I was introduced to these contemporary sounds. That's where I actually started thinking about being like a professional musician, because I went there to study, but I ended up like just being caught up in this music. That's where I met Bishop Benjamin Dube, Kekelezo Pofolo, and other guys. And that's why I started taking this singing thing seriously. And when I went off varsity, when I completed varsity, I went to stay in Johannesburg, and I continued doing my music. And in 2015, I recorded an album which I did not release.
Yes.
It was called Agavumanga.
Tell us about that. Is that the Afro-pop album?
Oh, no, that, I jumped the stage. The Afro-pop album was done before I did gospel.
Okay.
So that was 2007 and 8. And I just had this strong compulsion to kind of like quit that. Yes. Because it was not in line with my calling, because I'm called to sing, like the Spirit, God has anointed me to kind of like impact people, specifically on the gospel genre and stuff like that. So yeah, I had to quit that, and it was signed on what was this, Share Music, and I had to tell them that I'm quitting this and I need to pursue my calling, which is gospel. So I just started from there. 2009. I did Thy Kingdom Come. I did not release it. And in 2015, that's when I did Agavumanga, and I did a song called Ngiyanigela. When I was performing that song, that's the song that caught the attention. That ended up getting me inducted into MTN Joyous Celebration. Yeah.
And I mean, life as an artist in gospel music, what is it like?
It's tricky because gospel music is spiritual, but the gospel business is not. So striking a balance between the spiritual aspect of my craft and the spiritual and the business, it's quite tricky, because when you do business, you have to do business. Sure. And when you are spiritual, you have to forget about the business. So that's where you need to have like a strong team. That's what they teach us at MTN Joyous Celebration. You can't do everything. You need to have like a manager, you need to have like your PR, you need to have all these structures that helps you to run the other things that you can do and you just focus on singing, impacting lives,
Yeah.
basically.
And is it not a challenge to, really stick to doing what you love, gospel, and treat it as a calling when, I mean, this industry is one of, especially when it comes to gospel music, one of the most popular forms of music in the country. I mean, gospel music, everyone loves gospel music. A large number of our population are Christian people. And then you have all this money, and then you have all this fame, and then you have all these people that know your name. How do you stay true to yourself and to your calling when you're faced with all of that?
Well, I like to appreciate how I was raised, because when your roots are deep, then the tree becomes stronger. I was raised by a strong woman, my mom, and my dad, who is a pastor as well. So it's easy when you always know who you are and where you come from and why you started doing what you do. It always gives you like some sort of direction and some sort of humility, because there is no way for a village boy to kind of like break all those barriers the way I did and not recognize that it was God. So now if you realize that it was God, then why would you be at a certain place, think that you can kind of like deteriorate from your path? You have to stick in there, because it is God who keeps me, and it is God who's going to keep me moving and going wherever I need to be.
Absolutely.
So that keeps me grounded, basically. How I was raised with principles of love and family. I believe in that, so it keeps me grounded.
Absolutely. And tell us a bit about your journey with Joyous Celebration. They've been around for forever. I mean, I know that they're recording, I think it's the 24th live recording that's taking place this December.
Definitely.
Tell us about your journey with them.
Well, I was inducted into MTN Joy Celebration via social media, Facebook. The previous MD, Usianqoba Mthetho, inboxed me. We had a conversation before about this, but when he inboxed me, it was 2016, when they just returned from Dallas, because they had recorded at Bishop T.D. Jakes' church. So he called me, he inboxed me and gave me his email address to send him one of my videos, the song, Gianigela. I sent that song, and I think Wom Kiza liked it, and I was inducted. But my journey has been quite fascinating, because I started in 2017, I didn't have a solo, but I was given an opportunity to lead a song. They just gave me any song that they could give me, and I've been with them from 2017, 2018, then I recorded with them in 2019, and I'm still going strong with them. It's been an educational journey.
Sure.
Basically, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And tell us, you've shared the stage with so many big people. A lot of people that, are trying to get into the industry look at these people that you've shared the stage with and say, if only I can get a chance. How has that been for you?
Well, I think it's basically, more than anything, it's been grace, but it has been amazing to share stages with Abu Ntokozo, Abu Mamtokozo Mbambo, Kekeliso Poforo. Those are big names. I just see God's grace in everything. But what I would like to focus on is that when you are true to yourself, people are attracted to your honesty. They're not attracted to what you are trying to, like your alter ego or anything like that. So it's been amazing, but what has worked for me is that people were attracted to my truth and what I was trying to achieve as a person, particularly.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up this conversation, beyond your work with Joyous Celebration, where's gospel going?
Well, I see myself going back to my hometown, because there are no opportunities in Bushbuckridge as much as there are in Gauteng. I see myself learning as much as I can and going back to give back to our community. And I see myself releasing an album called Son of a King next year, and doing other things, man. I just want to empower people, especially where I come from, because charity begins at home.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Gospel Silinda, he's a gospel artist who has been touring and performing with the MTN Joyous Celebration.